Hello and welcome back to the 2022 Elkhart County Historical Museum Collections bracket. And today, in today's tournament, we have the last matchup of the Elite Eight. So we're going to send it to my bracket, so you know that the histories and the stories are going to be good. Today we have the Lakeshore and Michigan Southern Railroad Machine Shop photo going up against Dr. Miles' Restorative Nervine bottle. We'll see which one will win, but let's send it out to me to present both histories. And we're in the Elite Eight sharing more history of the Lakeshore and Michigan Southern Railroad Machine Shop photo, which you can see here behind me. Now, the machine shop was responsible for a number of different things in the city of Elkhart. One of them was the first wave of migration that it brought to the city. It diversified Elkhart's population because for the first time, people were coming here to work in this machine shop and along the railroad from different countries, places like Ireland, places like Germany, Sweden, England and Canada, Switzerland and Denmark, Scotland and France. For the most part, they were coming here in large numbers to work at the machine shop, to work on the railroad. And our census records show a huge growth of people from these countries and a huge growth in just general population. Between 1860 and 1880, the city of Elkhart's population grows almost by 360%. Now the question is, the people that were coming here to do this work, were they qualified to do the work that they were doing? In 1874, there was a bank collapse across the United States and the railroads were hit really hard. The railroad workers here some were laid off, wages were cut by the Lakeshore and Michigan Southern Railroad, and workers had their hours cut as well. And due to this, 240 men of Elkhart publish an open letter in the newspapers where they air their grievances. And they talk about, and this is a quote from the newspaper, "The oldest and best mechanics have been discharged and their places replaced with incompetent men, and in many cases with apprentices. The town suffers for this reason, and that this class of mechanics make poor citizens, having no surety of permanent competency." Now the quote says lots of other things as well, but it calls into question the skills of the people coming here. And we can go more into that in the final four if this goes through. But we'll also talk about the second wave of migration that this machine shop brought to Elkhart, and that's the growth of the African American population. So vote for the machine shop if you'd like to hear that story. And to talk more about the Elite Eight, I have the bottle of Dr. Miles' Restorative Nervine. Last time we talked about how Nervine was created. For this matchup, I want to talk about how Nervine was marketed. So one of Franklin Miles, Dr. Miles' influences growing up was P.T. Barnum. P.T. Barnum was a master promoter, and it appears some of that actually rubbed off on Dr. Miles. So when he was producing and selling Nervine, he was also promoting his products and his medical practice. So with the dozen bottles he was sending out in the 1881, 1882, 1883, he was sending out and selling dozens of bottles, but he was also sending out thousands of advertisements, thousands of brochures, thousands of pamphlets that contain his writing. So that is how he started to grow the exposure around Nervine, what it did, its effectiveness, according to Dr. Miles, and where you could get it, whether from him or the stores that it was sold in. So as Nervine starts to become successful, the bottles actually begin to take a new look. The logo that was on the early versions of Nervine illustrate Miles' study and specialization in the study of nervous system and his belief in treating the nerves could be a solution to all the number of ailments. Reasons why you should take Nervine, in Dr. Miles' opinion. So with Nervine's success, Dr. Miles' reputation begins to grow, and his medical practice begins to become more prominent, and he starts a new pharmaceutical company. What would happen next would lead to a growth of one of Elkhart's most well-known figures and Elkhart's one of most well-known companies, which we'll explore if we go into the final four. So don't forget to vote, and vote for Nervine. And there it is, folks. Two great histories, one about Nervine, one about railroads. Two really important parts of Elkhart County history. Which one of these is going on to the final four? You tell us. So once again, as always, we'll post this on the YouTube page of the Elkhart County Parks and the museum's Facebook page. post a comment on which object you would like to see move on. And we'll present the winner, and that winner will go on to the Final Four. We're getting really excited as the tournament starts to heat up. Now we're getting really close to the Final Four, and you'll finally see staff going against each other. Instead of presenting our own brackets, we're going to go against staff members, but one of us and one museum object will be deemed the winner of the 2022 Elkhart County Historical Museum Collections Tournament. So once again, watch, learn, and vote. That's going to do it here from Tournament Central. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the Final Four.